Hello and welcome to National Focus for Tuesday, June 18, 2024. I am Adicia Burton. In the headlines, Ministry of Health addresses nursing shortage in Dominica. Agricultural vegetable project begins with one-week workshop. And DOWASCO convenes for annual general meeting. The details of the headline stories and more when we return. Welcome back. An urgent call for applications has been sounded to address the current shortage of nurses in Dominica at a Ministry of Health press conference on Monday. Dominica, among other Latin American and Caribbean countries, falls short of the required number of nurses to provide optimal health care for its population.
Recent estimates indicate that Latin America and the Caribbean have approximately 44.3 nursing professionals per 10,000 people. This is insufficient, as it falls short of the 70.6 per 10,000 needed to achieve the United Nations goal of universal health care and coverage by 2023.
The Ministry of Health has been taking measures to curb the nursing attrition and shortage.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services over the years have been confronted with the problem of nurse attrition, nurse shortage, like every other Caribbean country and the world by extension. And this can be considered an acute on an already chronic situation. This has had a disadvantageous effect on the quality of nursing care at health facilities on the island. The data presented indicates that the main reason for nurse shortage is mainly due to migration. According to our statistics, between 2013 and 2024, 125 nurses have resigned and 33 retired from the service.
This shortage has been further exacerbated from the COVID-19 pandemic, resulting in a growing demand of nurses to support healthcare in Dominica. At current, there are 116 vacant personnel. The Ministry of Health is actively addressing this shortage through offering attractive incentives to nurses.
Approving a 100% increase in allowance, that is night duty nourishment, example, from $20 to $40 nightly, on-call allowance and call-out allowances for nurse practitioners. Increasing session rates at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, the RFA Hospital, and Marigot Hospital. Approving duty-free concessions on the purchase of vehicles by all nurses. Providing permanent appointment when due to nurses as a means of secured tenure. Increasing the pool of nurses. Ministry of Health has sought to employ available nurses, competent retired nurses, as well as nurses who left the service and showed great interest in returning.
The Ministry of Health is requesting the prompt application of qualified individuals to the nursing service.
We must increase the number of nurses and improve the overall quality of nursing in order to achieve our objectives of providing optimum nursing care services to you, the people of Dominica. We ask for the support of the public, their cooperation, and commitment to work with us to help maintain and improve the quality of care despite the shortage of nursing staff. To the nurses, approximately 21, who have recently been successful in the regional examination for nurse registration. The nursing assistants who were also successful at the local General Nursing Council examinations, and others who are unemployed and qualified to work as a nurse, nationals as well as non-nationals. We are in urgent need of your engagement.
The Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, have launched a project to improve livelihoods through high-value vegetable crop production in selected zones in Dominica. The workshop, which started at the Prevo Cinemall, will run for the week, with field visits to vegetable production areas. Technical Officer of the FAO, Melvin Medina Navarro, says the workshop is a result of an earlier FAO assessment which was conducted.
And it's the result of an initial assessment that we did some time ago, more or less 1 year ago. And FAO has allocated the national funds for Dominica to implement this project for the next 2.5 years. The project is focusing on vegetable crops. Vegetable crops, as you may know, contain many vitamins, minerals, and fibers that are important for us to keep us well nourished and healthy. However, many people are not able to consume vegetable crops and to fill the minimum requirements as recommended in our diets.
He says the project aims to take advantage of Dominica's microclimate for vegetable production.
We have some data that we have been analyzed, and many of vegetable crops that you can find them are imported, and the project intends to take advantage of the microclimates that you have in Dominica, and to be able to grow them locally and reduce the imports. And this is also to meet with the CARICOM 25 by 25 initiative to reduce imports.
Permanent Secretary Ryan Ansem says the ministry is initiating action to increase the contribution of the food sector to the gross domestic product. He highlighted that vegetable production is one such initiative.
The ministry is initiating actions to increase the contribution of the food sector to the gross domestic product. The expanding and improving vegetable, and I must say fruits as well, I was guided that the project will focus on fruits, is one such initiative. Additionally, vegetable is one of the priority crops identified to support the substitution of food import strategy, as well as guaranteeing food and nutrition security for the nation. And we heard of the importance of vegetable in terms of nutrition. It provides fiber, it provides a lot of vitamins, and we in Dominica will have a high incidence of NCDs. Vegetable consumption is very important.
Vegetable production has contributed to the livelihood of Dominican farmers for many years. Mr. Ansem says the sector is well placed.
Recognizing the important role that vegetable play in the agriculture sector, it contributes to livelihood of our farmers. The sector is well placed to assist in meeting these targets that we have in the ministry, which is vegetables and other crops, livestock, fisheries, contributing to $700 million to the gross domestic product by 2030. One may say it's an ambitious target, but we are confident with the involvement of the farmers and the investment that we are doing in agriculture that can be achieved.
The Board of Directors and shareholders of the Dominica Water and Sewerage Company, DOWASCO, have convened for the 2024 Annual General Meeting, AGM, on Monday. Minister with responsibility for public utilities, Honorable Shakira Lokat-Hippolyte, says DOWASCO has been able to fulfill all of its obligations and responsibilities as a company serving the people of Dominica.
DOWASCO has been challenged post-Hurricane Maria and COVID-19. Notwithstanding the many challenges, DOWASCO has been able to meet its financial obligations, and most importantly, continue to provide Dominicans near and far with good quality, portable, safe, pipe-borne water.
Since the previous AGM held in December 2023, an increased water rate has come into effect via a water access charge.
At the last AGM held on December 10th, 2021, the chairman stated the critical need for an increase in the water rates for the financial sustenance of the company. DOWASCO, as all of you may know, would have made several submissions to the government. And finally, the cabinet approved, and I see the chairman smiling, increasing water rates for both the domestic and commercial consumers. This increase will allow DOWASCO to undertake much-needed capital projects to improve its water supply and to meet its monthly obligations.
Many capital projects implemented in Dominica will be supported from this increase.
Some of the capital projects that will be undertaken would be the Paybush water supply, and that project will cost in the region of $1.8 million. The Bayak Loda water supply, $2 million. And under the water sector strategic development project, we have the Calibishi, Cassie Bruce, Grand 4, Monjon, Riviere Syric, and Grand Savan and Salisbury water supply, all costing in the region of 36 million EC. So DOWASCO, not despite the many challenges, inflation has gone up tremendously. I know it's also a challenge to get the pipes and the fittings, but DOWASCO is making sure that improves the water supply of many Dominicans all over.
An ongoing project, the rehabilitation works for the Soufriere area, will be completed within the next 2 weeks.
We also had a situation in the Soufriere area where our water supply there was disrupted, but the rehabilitation works is on the way, and the general manager assured me in the next 2 weeks that that will be completed. And that too would have cost quite a sum, almost in the region of $60,000, because the men would have had to have faced the mountains, and I know it was a challenge to get all the pipes and so up there.
Minister Hippolyte offered advice to the company and congratulated them for their dedicated service.
I want to urge management and staff of DOWASCO to be prudent in its spending, reduce its discretionary expenses, be transparent in its operations, and exercise prudence in the use of its time, finances, and resources. Finally, I'd like to extend and express my gratitude to the shareholders, the board of directors, managerial staff of DOWASCO for their unwavering support to the company and for steering the ship amidst all the global challenges.
An official viewing was held for the body of His Eminence Kelvin Edward Cardinal Felix on Tuesday, June 18 at the Roseau Cathedral. President of Dominica, Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Joseph Isaac, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, Archbishops Gabriel Malzé and Kenneth Richards, Resident Judge Colin Williams, former presidents and prime ministers, government officials, permanent secretaries, member of the Diplomatic Corps, and many others all came to pay their final respects throughout the day. His Eminence Kelvin Edward Cardinal Felix was awarded an official funeral by the government of Dominica. All flags will be flown at half-mast on Tuesday, June 18 and Wednesday, June 19. Kelvin Edward Cardinal Felix was born in Dominica and ordained a priest on 8 April 1956. He was the principal of the Roman Catholic High School in Dominica from 1972 to 1975 and Associate General Secretary of the Caribbean Conference of Churches from 1975 to 1981. He became a cardinal at the Papal Consistory held on 22 February 2014. He was the Roman Catholic Archbishop Emeritus of Castries, St. Lucia. He died on Thursday, May 30, 2024, at the age of 91. You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. 12 Dominican students have earned a place on the Dean's List at the Western Illinois University last semester. The undergraduate students who are part of the growing cohort at the university all earned GPAs of 3.6. Several of the students earned a perfect 4.0 GPA for the semester. The students recognized include Janelle Kerr, Naomi Scotland, Francian Julius, Kervel Dadra Vital, Bernie Hamael Serville, Marlon Moses, Naja Soleil Francis, Nashida Stacia Bertrand, Jade Lindsay, Risha Lawrence, Ruan John Baptist, and Sanchez Shanish John Baptist. Dominican and other Caribbean students in the growing regional cohort continue to excel academically. Government's commitment to the education is evident in the continued support of these students as they pursue studies in their various fields. GIS congratulates the students on their accomplishments and wishes them continued success in their studies. The Dominica State College will be hosting a slew of summer activities leading up to the 2024-2025 academic school year. One of these initiatives is the introduction of ACTS, a summer camp created to increase the youth's involvement in agriculture, culture, tourism, and science.
It is a summer camp for children, a children's summer camp, and as Ms. Benjamin stated, the acronym that the camp is being called is ACTS, ACTS, and that's because it's surrounding the pillars: agriculture, culture, tourism, and science. So we have something very interesting in store for young children or children ages 6 to 15, and it is a summer camp at the Dominica State College. The start date for this camp will be July 15th, end date August 9th. That's 4 weeks, parents, that you can send students to the Dominica State College.
Ms. Christian also spoke to the introduction of a Mandarin summer class held at the Confucius Classroom on campus.
This summer, if you want to experience learning Mandarin, we also have a summer class. We normally offer classes during the regular semesters, and we have now decided to do one during the summer period. So the dates from July 15th to August 16th, 4 weeks, once again, well, no, just about 5 weeks, but just 2 days a week for the class, one class at 10 a.m., one class at 2 p.m., and this class is for our high school students. So if you're in high school and you want to try your hand at learning Mandarin, you can come experience this summer class at the Confucius Classroom.
She then announced that a team from the Dominica State College will be representing Dominica at a debate competition in St. Lucia. Another initiative by the DSC this summer is the 8-week short course program. Dean of Student Affairs and General Studies, Ms. Nadine Revere, says a lot of practical courses will return to the program, including basic tiling, basic electricals, snacks preparations, and basic sewing. Ms. Revere encouraged interested students to register early for the short courses programs.
We are limited for our short courses on space. As you've heard, a lot of these classes are lab or workshop sort of classes, so there's only so many students we can accommodate in a class. We tend to cap these classes at about 12 to 15, maybe sometimes 16 or 17, so you want to bear that in mind for registration. So these are our short courses. Just in terms of prices, all of the courses except phlebotomy are $350. The phlebotomy is $1,500, but you can pay it. We can have a payment plan, so you can pay it over 3 tranches of $500.
The Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, the SWMC, has identified landfill diversion as an integral process in developing a green and sustainable nation. Redirecting waste has significant environmental benefits, leading to less waste in landfills in addition to reduced greenhouse gas emissions and soil and water pollution.
From where we see waste management, you need to consider waste diversion, which is one of the critical pillars in the waste management hierarchy. how do you divert your waste? Instead of taking all your waste from your municipality and disposing in your landfill, that is not a sustainable practice.
The corporation has been working diligently over the ages with partners to introduce projects that ultimately minimize the amount of waste being directed to the landfill.
We have embarked on a few initiatives, especially that of our recycling initiative, wherein we've been working with the AFD, we have been working with the OECS under the OECS Remedy Project. We developed the calendar waste project as part of that, wherein we were able to ensure that within the calendar waste space, bins were made available for storage of your residential waste and storage of recycled items. And when we say recycling items, we refer to glass, plastic, and cans. That is one of the components that we have been pursuing over the years. And again, the gist of that is to reduce on the amount of waste that is tipped within the sanitary landfill space.
Mr. Mitchell, however, has reported a few challenges which they will need to overcome.
We have some challenges in executing this initiative. One of the things that we've noticed is that from the public perspective, the put-out rate is still not as we anticipate. Still having challenges in there. But despite that, there are elements of the program that is very, very much successful, and we are seeking to improve on that. What we realized in trying to change the mindset, we need to work with the schools a lot. So just this year, we launched the Zero Waste School Initiative, where we have over 47 schools participating as part of the project.
The SWMC has been experiencing some success through their Recycle project.
End of the month, we should be exporting again another container, 40-foot container of plastics. The first container that we exported was over 13 tons of material. When we counted the plastics, about half a million 250 ml, if you know the ml, 250 ml water bottles, 500,000 of that got exported. So you would have imagined the significant amount of waste that is diverted through that project. But our intention is to upscale. As we are able to set up the shed, have proper equipment, we should be able to shred and export.
The corporation is considering innovative ways to reuse plastic waste.
Just this morning I had a discussion with the AFD, and one of the things we're saying is, instead of exporting, how can we create a livelihood? So in Dominica, you'd realize we export a lot of plastic products. So can the project now further give us support that we could create some livelihood? So instead of importing a lot of the receptacles like this, we use, you could get a mold, probably could make those things available with a lot of the brooms and stuff that we use. You go in the supermarket and buy a lot of stuff, so we will have to do a nice little market research and figure out of the waste stream itself how we could consider the circularity approach. Not just to export the plastic, but use the plastic now and create a commodity, so then you have a circularity approach.
The SWMC encourages individuals to take responsibility for the waste they generate, utilize garbage separation techniques, and composting for organic waste. Coming up next, the Creole News highlights with Jeno Jacob.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel en Creole, nom mon c'est Jeno Jacob. Ministre agriculteur ensemble et puis FAO, organisation agriculteur et puis manger, commencé un workshop à sous production légumes hier. Ça prend place en privé au cinéma. Workshop là que courir pour semaine là et puis qui continue et puis visite habitation légumes au Dominica. Nous parlons et puis secrétaire Dewan Ryan Ansem.
Au workshop pour nous regarder comment nous pouvons avancer production végétale en Dominique. Avec nous les techniciens de FAO pour venir pour transfert technologie, comment nous pouvons faire ça meilleur. Quand vous savez, Dominique a importé un paquet véritable nous pouvons parler de cauliflower, broccoli, et d'autres strawberry. So, dès l'année passée, nous discuter avec FAO comment ça aide nous pour avancer pour nous implanter plus véritable. Comme ça nous à Dominique nous ni terre, nous ni climat pour planter véritable. C'est ça son un programme pour nous arrêter importer véritable.
différents monde qui travaillent en production légumes en temps de workshop là.
Nous avons des supermarket, nous avons des monde qui planter, nous avons des extension. Et ça nous a fait, FAO a nous présentation comment nous ça fait ça, mais comment nous avons person diseases, comment nous avons introduit technologie, comment nous avons mené meilleure variety pour climate change. Quand vous savez climate change, nous passons pas contre climate change. Qualité greenhouse là nous avons mené, qualité plan nous avons mené pour climate change, c'est important. So FAO ka aide nous comment nous avons mené hydroponics, comment nous avons mené ces greenhouse là qui met.
Monsieur Ansem, dis-nous contre un greenhouse neuf, il a mené Dominique.
Dominique, il y a temps qui a fait chaud, il y a temps on partit d'appliquer tomber. So greenhouse là nous avons mené et pour adapter pour ces conditions ça là. So c'est un greenhouse nous allons introduire en Dominique avec so la pluie chaleur chaud, il pas de problème pour planter récolter. So pour nous bien contents projet ça là c'est un projet qui a aidé nous joindre target nous 700 millions agriculture secteur avec ça même qui a aidé nous pour joindre ça. Ça nous aide les gens. Toute technologie, tout investissement Dominique a fait en hôtel, à international airport là, à restaurant là, nous n'y pour manger local.
La corporation qui a managé les ordres Dominique dit est important pour nous séparer les ordres. Les ordres qui organiques pas supposés rentrer en landfill là. Moun ça fait fumer et puis les ordres qui ça pourri ou ça babette tout concabrit et puis cochon la pour figue et puis dachine etc. Bitin qu'on la pour poule et puis zéboy pression qu'a fait les ordres la senti. Fait qui c'est seulement plastique, panne et puis bouteille ou mettez en ordres. C'est pas les ordres. Ça qu'a fait landfill là durée plus longue et qui empêche pollution de l'eau et puis environnement. Corporation Zordis Dominique qui travaille et puis l'école pour indiquer les qui ont à sous meilleure manière pour séparer les Zordis. Le ministre de la Santé a une press conference pour adresser les problèmes qui pas assez nos en l'hôpital. Dominique et puis d'autres pays en Caraïbes ni une situation là il pas nos. Le gouvernement qui travaille pour ranger la situation ça là. Il y a 116 jobs nos available à présent. Le ministre de la Santé a demandé nos qui qualifient pour voir l'application yo rentrer pour travail. Pour Dominique continuer à développer santé monde important. Ça c'est tout à ce nouvel en Creole. Non, monsieur Geno Jacob, au revoir.
As we're in the midst of the hurricane season, it's critical to take proactive steps to safeguard yourself and your family. For today's hurricane tip, store non-perishable food items. These food items can be eaten without cooking or need very little preparation. Electricity may be off during a hurricane, leaving you without refrigeration, and if flooding occurs, the food will not get wet and contaminated. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I am Adicia Burton. Thank you for watching.